The story for Sherlock Holmes, Volume 1, is eccentric, arrogant, and ingenious. Sherlock Holmes remains the world's most popular and influential fictional detective. In 4 novels and 56 short stories, Holmes, with his trusted friend Dr. Watson, steps from his comfortable quarters at 221B Baker Street into the swirling fog of London. Combining detailed observation with brilliant deduction, Holmes rescues the innocent, confounds the guilty, and solves the most perplexing puzzles crimes have to offer. Yeah. I have to admit, for stories written in the 19th century, the 1800s and all that, I was quite surprised by most of these stories, particularly action scenes. I was surprised at how good the action scenes were. There weren't that many, but I was surprised how good they were. The cases were good. Some were a bit, simple, but they still had good twists. They had good outcomes. It was actually just well drawn out. It was cool to hear everything from the point of view of Dr. Watson. So all that was good. The language was good. I love Barnes & Noble editions of this because in case there's like a word that would be described differently today, they have a little description at the bottom of the page to say that word actually means this, or this is a reference to this, and so it helps out to understand the language and the logic of the time period. Everything I liked about this was great. There wasn't really much character development. It's not the type of story. It's just isolated incidents. They're not connected stories. So we can see, the rise of characters and fall or this and that. So that doesn't have that, but they're thrilling adventures. They're fun. They're exciting. The world written in here is very lively and perfectly detailed. There's just a lot of neat little things you pick up as you read along. My only problem, I don't know if this is true with all Sherlock Holmes books, but with this Barnes & Noble edition, my only problem with it is the print. As you can see, it is kind of small, fine print, like newspaper printing, and I had to focus my eyes on here, like, really hard because as you can saw, there's barely any spaces between the lines itself and spaces between the words, so I had to really focus on every line and word, and it just strained my eyes and head. So then that was one of the reasons why it took me 7 years to read this book, because of that. And so it's like, oh my god. But other than that, it was a thrilling read, and I'd still recommend the Barnes & Noble edition, mainly because, like I said, they have the little descriptions on the bottom to make things clearer for modern day folk like myself. So yeah, other than that, it is a very good read. It's thick and whatever, but it has a lot of stories and stuff, so it's really good. I do recommend it, particularly if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan or mystery fan, or just like me, also likes Victorian age media, like stories, movies, video games, and books that are set in the Victorian era. I love all that. That's a fun era for fiction writing and storytelling. All right, so I give this about 4 stars out of 5. It is very, very fantastic, fun, and enjoyable. And it is indeed a classic. I can see why the Sherlock Holmes stories are held with high regard. Like I said, some of the cases are a little simple, but you know what? To the people who needed the case solving, it was complex to them. And the way Sherlock Holmes solves it, it is a bit complex, but it's like sometimes the outcome seems a bit like, yeah, it was kind of obvious, or, oh, that was an interesting twist. But other than that, Sherlock Holmes really knows how to get a case done. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.